Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, or whatever time of day you're listening to this. Welcome back to Dad Tales Podcast. I am Leon, father to Ava who is 7 and Noah who is 5.
And my name's Andy and I'm a dad to 3 girls, Ellie who's 21, Lex who's 15 and Andy who's 8. So together we're going to take a light-hearted look at parenting from a dad's point of view. We hope you enjoy. Good evening, Leon.
Good evening, Andy.
Happy Dad Tales Day.
Happy Dad Tales Day. Best day of the week this for me, my friend.
Yes. Speaking of the week, how has yours been?
So last week I mentioned that I had a dispute ongoing with Blinds to Go.
Ooh.
I would like to report that dispute is resolved in the fact that I've got a refund and they can't commit to the order they ordered. They've backed out on the commitment to supply me with blinds. I didn't mention it last week, but we ordered some blinds. They arrived. The blinds were stiff. You couldn't roll them, so they wouldn't rotate around. So we complained. They sent out some replacement blinds. Those blinds were the wrong size. I don't know whose blinds I received, but I must have received some other person's blinds.
Was it sent by a blind man?
No, the guy who the construction was a blind man, I'm telling you, because it was wrong size by a long way. And then for a third time, we asked for replacement blinds to replace the original that wasn't good enough for them then to send out blinds at the wrong size again. So we complained and said, look, just give us our money back. We'll go to another company because you cannot fulfill our order. Not to mention the fact that we'd already put them up the first set. So therefore, everything had to be right against those measurements because I had put new holes in a wall. So it was absolutely nightmare. We went around houses, we were speaking to all these different people. Now, we got a blind for the bathroom from Blinds to Go. Fantastic. So I'm not in a boat of going, everybody don't use Blinds to Go, but the customer service was bad. When something wasn't right, it was bad. I'm in a draw situation with them. I don't think I'd use them in a hurry. It'd be a price thing that'd make me go back to them.
Because you're cheap.
I am cheap. I'm cheap in Northerner, and there was cheap. I didn't shop around. I saw them and thought, I like the price. It's not bad. I don't know if I've been ripped off in the first place, but I'll take it anyway. So when I come to, because I've got to replace these blinds because I'm not keeping them.
So if there's anybody out there that can measure and can fit you with some good blinds, then we're up for listening to it, are we?
I can measure. I can send the measurements in. They've got to be specific to the measurements because I want everything to go into the existing holes that are there. I don't want messing about putting new holes in.
Nobody needs that nest, do they?
So, not me. I'm not the best DIYer. So that's been my week, and to be continued is the rest of my week because we left on a cliffhanger as well regarding the other dispute I did on the go, but I don't want to take over this spot right now, so I'll say that to the end. How's your week been, my friend?
So what are you doing then? You're giving us a second cliffhanger.
Yeah, a cliffhanger and a cliffhanger.
Wow, there's so many layers to this. It's unreal. My week's been pretty poor, just on the basis that we're back in another rubbish situation. We're locked in. Same old, innit? Fed up of this predicament we're in, this pandemic, this shamdemic. I don't know what to call it anymore. I don't want to dwell on that too much because, as I said last week, I'm being Mr. Positive. The glass is half full.
It is, but someone keeps drinking out of it, so it's getting emptier and emptier.
Yeah. It's half full. It's half full of rubbish. But
yeah, I lasted 1 day with I need to be a bit more mellow, a bit more calm with the kids. I lasted 1 day, and I blame the lockdown and Brexit. I blame that as well because everyone's blaming Brexit for everything. So I blame that as well.
Right, Leon, I've had a thought this week, and with everything, we're now back at home. You know, kids are homeschooling, parents are doing what they can to the best of their abilities, and we've said this before. Hats off to people that are homeschooling because it's not easy. It's not easy keeping the attention of children, especially when you can't go out. So on that basis, we knew the last lockdown, YouTube and Netflix and TV, Amazon, all that in general, viewing figures just went up because that's the only thing that people had to do. So I think it's important that we talk about this from a parent's point of view on what are your kids watching? Do you know what they're watching? And if they're watching certain things, would you be happy with what they're watching? So I think it's been aware. Do you always know what your kids are watching?
In a fashion, yeah. I know that they won't watch anything that they shouldn't be watching because even if it's Netflix YouTube, Disney Plus, they have their own accounts in the fact that when you log in, you can either set it up for a kid's account or an adult's account. So I've got an adult's, so if they clicked on my profile, they could quite easily click on my profile because not as if it's like locked or anything like that. But every time I've been with them and watched them, they've always clicked on their profile. They say they always click on their profile to watch what they want. So in a fashion, I do know they're not watching something they shouldn't be, but what they're watching, some of the stuff I don't know how they watch it. It's that bad.
So we go back a few episodes, and what we asked our kids to do was watch a TV program that we'd previously watched as kids. So on that, what we've done this week is we've asked our kids for a TV program or a YouTube or a series on Netflix, and we've asked them to tell us what we should watch. So sort of a recommendation. So we've done that. I don't know about you, but I've got a little review for each one of mine.
Yeah, I've got a little review.
The good thing about this is because my kids are at very, very different ages. So we've asked them to recommend something that they're watching now. So it's not what they watched when they was little, because we all watched that at the same time. So I'll go first. So I'm going to start off with Ellie. So Ellie's 21, and she asked me to watch Money Heist. So Money Heist on Netflix. I'm sure people have seen this because I know I've seen it around the socials where people have kind of raved about this. So before I watched an episode, I wanted to kind of do a bit of research on what it was about and things. So on paper, this looks like my type of program. So it's about this criminal mastermind that wants to pull off this big money heist, hence the name. And it's about printing like millions and millions of dollars in Spain and creating this extra money. So he has to recruit people, and they go through this process of trying to steal all this money and stuff. Brilliant. Sounds like my cup of tea. Bit of action, bit of drama. I'm pretty much guessing that there's a little bit of romance in there as well somewhere. Got to throw that one into the mix. Guns, shooting, fast cars, all that. Good bit. Right. I switch it on and it's in subtitles.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So straight away, I'm proper let down. So it's in Spanish with English subtitles. And I don't want to watch a program and read it at the same time.
Yeah, have you? This reminds me of Narcos. Have you watched Narcos about the Pablo Escobar? It was such hard work because I was having to read what was going on, and they'd flit in and out of language. So sometimes I felt like I had a stroke. So one minute speaking English, next minute speaking South American. I'm like, what's happened there? I've got Colombian. I'm like, what's happened there? I've just missed something. And then it's because I wasn't paying attention to what was like the subtitles that popped up, but I was too busy looking over someone's shoulder, knowing me. But I'd completely missed that. I was like, oh man. So that was hard work. So I completely understand what you're talking about, subtitles and things.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I watched an episode and I just struggled with it. Certainly, I won't put a second one on just because, like I said, I just can't read it. But apparently everybody said it's good. Everybody keeps saying you need to stick with it. No. It's also like, sometimes when I'm watching a program, I might not drift off around the room because I'm not Peter Pan, but you don't always need to be looking at the TV, do you?
No, but I know what you mean. I had the same problem with Narcos. Like I said, it wasn't that I wasn't paying attention, but my mind had probably wandered for a couple of seconds. And I'm like, hang on, what did he just say? Because it broke out into Colombian, and I was like, oh. So I completely understand what you like. Yeah, you can't be watching something you have to fully concentrate like that. The whole point, if I wanted to read, I'd read a book. Because reading a book's far better than watching a film all day long. But sometimes I just want to sort of like switch off and become numb and just lay there.
So that's my review on that. Can't do it. Just can't read and concentrate.
I'm going to give it a whirl though, Ellie. So I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to give it a whirl and see what I think. Because I need new series to watch. I'm watching the same things over and over again. I do need to venture out on something new. So, Ellie, I will give Money Heist a run and see what happens.
You don't forget that you can't read.
Well, that's I'm on the back foot from the get-go. I can't speak, can't read. One of these days, I'm going to find out that I'm not actually English and I'm some sort of different language, and that's my problem. I can speak 2 languages.
Yeah, English is your second. You can speak American, right?
Do you know what? I was about to try and do American accent then, but I've heard not because I'm terrible with accents. I've like come out of some sort of like Irish or something. Oh man, me and Mrs. have so much fun in the fact that I cannot do accents. Even to the point where someone's got an accent and I'll go, that's Irish, innit? And she'll go, no, it's Scottish. I'll go, that's Welsh, innit? And she'll go, no, that's French. What's wrong with you? I just can't pick up accents at all.
Oh, man. Right, what's your first programme?
So mine comes in from Ava, who's 8, and she was the Miraculous, it's called Miraculous, The Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Now, how to explain? It's kids action, but it's like girls. So it's the first thing I take from it is it's aimed at girls. It's a bit like, I don't know, like do you like Clueless, where they're all a bit like, oh, I fancy such and such, like, do you like a girls' TV program from when we were younger? It's got that sort of premise to it, so it's aimed at a girl's like high school life and things like that. But then she's a superhero, and she has this yo-yo that turns her into, well, it's like a little thing that comes out of it that turns her into it. And then Cat Noir is like her boyfriend, but because they're wearing masks, the old superhero trope, I can't tell you why because I've got some over my eyes, just covering my eyes. Rest of my whole features are the exact same, apart from you can't see my eyeballs, therefore I become inconspicuous and incognito. So there's that going on in it where I'm like, come on, you can tell that's that person. But that's with all superhero things. So that's not a beef with just this program. That's a beef in general. I would give it a watch. So if your Andy has not watched it, I'd chuck her onto it because I think, does she like actiony things? Like, I think Ava would probably watch Spider-Man and things like that. I don't think she's against the things.
Yeah, I think so. I've certainly noted it down. I'll give it a try.
So I've not described it very well. So she wears Ladybug, she wears Ladybird outfit. So she's in like a red jumpsuit with like black polka dots all over it. She wears high heels. She's got this yo-yo she swings around. And she's really good at crime fighting. And then every week, the guy called Mothman or something Moth hypnotizes people, and then they have to fight them and get the miraculous out of them. The miraculous is this little bug thing that turns her into it. And then Cat Noir's got the same thing, but this is a ring. And he's got Cataclaw, I think it was, I saw earlier on. And he goes, Cataclysm, and swipes at him, and then it's like a superhero smash. I could genuinely sit and watch it. I'm not joking. I could sit and get into it as a storyline.
As a sidebar, if anybody understands and can give me subtitles and explain what Leon's just said, that would really help. You're right. You're terrible at describing. I got catulicious. What was that word you said?
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm. Yeah. I mean that.
No, it sounds loud. God, that sounds rude.
No wonder you could watch these programs on your own.
Yeah, kids weren't there. But yeah,
how long's an episode?
How long's an episode? Like normal, 20 minutes. Adverts, knock it up to like a 30-minute, half hour.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl. Yeah, I'll see if it's cataclysmastic. Is that a word? That's definitely a word.
Yeah, it's child friendly, so I definitely say give it a whirl.
Child friendly. I would hope it was if Ava, who's 8, is watching it.
No, but like we said at the beginning of it, it's about knowing, are we aware of what our kids watching? She could have turned around and gone, yeah, watch this, it's really good. It's about a guy who's like lives on Elm Street and he goes round and he attacks people when they're asleep.
Yeah, has a lovely stripy jumper.
Yeah. And he has these like knives on like a glove and he like pops out through beds and stuff. And he has this song, this like theme tune going, 1, 2 is coming for you.
I mean, this wouldn't be a podcast without you having a little sing song at some point, would it?
Yeah, it's got to be. Go on then, what's your next TV program?
So my second one is, this is from Lexi. Lexi's 15, Designated Survivor. Again, it's another Netflix one. I think my problem with this is that a lot of people are talking about this and saying it's really good. And because I rebel against stuff like that and don't follow the norm, I've kind of just completely ignored it. Watched an episode. So basically, it's the president of America gets killed in like a terrorist attack. And he's previously sacked a guy who was one of his cabinet members. And then all of a sudden, he becomes the president of the United States. People don't want him to be president. And he has to kind of fight against them. He has to fight against everything that's going on. The country's in chaos and he's there. He's got to try and manage it. It was all right. Watched an episode. I will probably go back to it. Kiefer Sutherland's in it. I don't mind him either as an actor. So, yeah, it was good. One thing I did like about this, and because obviously Lexi suggested it, she'd watched it, and she was quite keen for me to watch it. And because it's like a political drama, I thought it was good at 15 that she was kind of understanding these types of things that are happening. It wasn't just about the action and things being blown up. You know, there's a lot more, shall we say, emotional things that are going on with it. You know, obviously he's trying to fight off people, trying to run the country. So there's lots going on. So I will get on another episode. We'll see how it goes. As long as like zombies don't start coming out and stuff. I'm not a big fan of stuff like that. Then I think we'll be all right.
Is it age appropriate for mine if I get them watching Designated Survivor?
Probably not, no. No. Yeah, swing and miss with that one.
So you watched one episode. You didn't watch just like a random episode. You watched the first episode, I hope, not just one in the middle and gone, this is pretty chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle to figure out what's going on in the first episode, never mind sticking it on 3 or 4 episodes deep. First episode, and yeah.
Have I told you about Susan, who used to work at Life Centre, when she got 24? Do you know this the box set 24 with Keith O'Sullivan in? Is it Keith O'Sullivan?
Mm-hmm.
And each episode is an hour's time that corresponds to each hour that goes through the 24-hour episodes in the season. So she had the DVD and she watched the first episode in the first disc, thought that was it, then put the second disc in, watched the first episode on disc 2, watched the first episode on disc 3, watched the first episode on disc 4. So I only watched 4 hours, but was actually on hour 25 or something by hour 21 by the time she got onto the 4th thing. It was like, I don't get what's going on. It's gone from this right through to this, and then all of a sudden they're talking about this, and you meant to know what's happened. So she completely missed out loads of episodes in between it. Have I told you about that?
You just did.
Yes.
I would have cut you off halfway through if you'd have told me that before. I don't like listening to your stories once, never mind listening to them twice.
Well, it was funny. It's how you tell them, I suppose.
Always.
God, I need some sort of lessons in comedy timing and storytelling. And I'm moving on to my other one then that my child offered. So Noah, age 5, and he said I had to watch Big Hero 6. Now, this is quality. This is right up my street. Once again, it's a superhero thing. It's about a kid called Hero. He's like a super intelligent genius. His brother was really intelligent. His brother unfortunately passed away and created a cyborg, which is called Betamax. And Betamax, it was like a protector, and then they become superheroes. So Hero's brother, Hero could be the older brother's name actually, but I don't know what the kid's called, but one of them's called Hero anyway. They were part of like a crime fighting syndicate type thing, and they went around saving the world. Now he's taken over where his brother was and become like a superhero crime fighting thing. I think it's set in Japan, but nothing makes sense because it's like they've taken fictional place, but like it looks like it's in Japan sometimes, and then sometimes it looks like in somewhere in America. It's honestly it's weird how it's set. 'Cause I'm like, where is this place? But anyway, it's really good. I proper loved it. It's like a new age version of like Spider-Man or X-Men or something like that. It's proper good stuff. And storyline was quite good. I watched an episode where someone was mind controlling someone and they had to fight them off, and they had some sort of special power. They could fire lasers. Each person's got their own suit that has different powers, a bit like X-Men, I suppose, in that aspect. I'm sure it's called Betamax, this big thing. And there's like a little version of him that they've created. It was like called Minimax. He's called Minimax, actually, from what I remember. Really good. I'd recommend it, especially if you've got a boy. Stick him in front of this. But there's a film. There's a Pixar film for it.
So you watched episodes then? You didn't watch a film?
No, I watched the episode. So I'm presuming, I don't know which has come first, but one of them must be a spin-off of the other one, obviously. Yeah, there's a film. So I think that might... Now, I don't think mine have watched the film. Not sure. I could be wrong. But I think that's a film night coming up.
This sounds very much like one of my dreams. You know, suddenly I'll be in Japan fighting dragons, and then I'm pushing a trolley around in Tesco's in Papua New Guinea, something like that. I don't know what's happening. I mean, the fact that you said you don't quite understand it, is it in Japanese?
No. The robot thing, he looks a bit Japanese, if like a Japanese robot. I don't know why I get that from, but it just reminds me of that.
Yeah, them Japanese robots.
Right, this is why. Right, okay, so it's in a futuristic city called San Francisco. No, San Francisco. So it's meant to be a mix between Francisco and Tokyo. I don't think I said that right.
Francisco.
San Francisco. It's because I'm trying to read and speak at the same time. My brain can't do two things. So San Francisco and Tokyo, it's them both mixed together. That's why I said to you, it felt like I was in America sometimes I was like in Japan. It's like they have houses that are set in Japan, and then next thing, like in the middle of a city, it's proper like American style, and there's like hills. Do you know San Francisco hills? Do you know it's always like seems to be always downhill, doesn't it? Like those big hills. That's on it. And that's where I was thinking, oh, where are they now? But it was in the same town. It's called San Francisco.
So give us a rating out of 10.
Honestly, I go a solid 9 for a TV program.
Is this something that we should be concerned about? You know, you're just going to start watching kids programs during this pandemic. You know, Amy walks into the room and just suddenly you're sat there with breakfast all down your chin watching cartoons.
To be fair, when they put Miraculous on for me, we started off watching it together, and the next thing I know, they're gone and I'm still watching it. Both of them catch my attention to the point where I'm like, I could watch it. Once I know the characters and know what's going on a bit better, I could get invested in them. Right. I mean, I genuinely think I could Pokemon now on my own.
I just hope at no point during that admission there, when you said that you could just genuinely sit and watch Pokemon, was there any kind of lagging on this Zoom? And we'll see how that comes out.
Oh, you edit it to come out.
Yeah, we'll see. Right, so my final one. So this one is from Andy. Andy's 8. This one I was pretty certain from asking her what she would ask me to watch, because I know she loves these. And I know I've mentioned them before, but this is the YouTube family Norris Nuts.
I need to get Matthew to watch this.
Well, I don't. All right, yeah, I'll review it and then I'll let you decide. So yeah, so she asked me to watch this one. So Norris Nuts are an Australian YouTube family. It's a bunch of kids. One of them was originally got set onto YouTube because they did surfing and skating. So that kind of where it's all sort of kicked off. They was very good at it. Started with that, started filming it, putting it on YouTube, and then the other children within the family have kind of come into it. And now they're massive. They're massive in Australia. Loads of merch and all that. Proper good following. Catchphrases and the lot. So I watched Norris Nuts cooking. So Socky, that's right. Socky and Disco, these are children, were cooking.
Sorry. Is that their real name or is that their like stage name?
Well, they call each other that all the time. So I think they are real names. I may have got that wrong, but I think they are. Hang on, do you want me to go through the names?
Yeah, so I apologise for interrupting. It was one of those things where I'm thinking, I've just heard you really say that one's called Suck It.
Not Suck It. Not like what you do with a boiled sweet.
Oh, what did you say then?
Right, so there's Sabre, Socky, as in a cute thing that you would put on end of your footy.
Socky.
Socky. I mean, Socky's a pretty terrible name anyway. I don't know if it goes to another level if you start calling your children Suck It.
That's asking. Are these real names? Are like nicknames? Are like?
I believe these are real names. So we've got Sabre, we've got Socky. There's Biggie, Biggy.
Is that an ironic name? She's really small, or he's really small.
Possibly. There's Naz, yeah, and Disco.
I just need to inject. These cannot be real names. I'm sorry, but they can't be real names.
I believe
surely
they are.
not. Disco.
No, right. So they are nicknames.
Thank God for that.
The real names aren't much different. Right. So there was making Socky and Disco were making chocolate chip cookies. This is a YouTube channel, bear in mind. It was only 10 minutes long, which was enough. My Disco must be two 2 years old. So it was only them two on the thing. They was doing all the mixing, things like that. Right at the very start, he cracked an egg all over the other eggs and just started crying his eyes out. It's a rough start. But actually, when I break it down, and being Mr. Positive now, the whole thing was quite informative. It was fun. So they showed you how to do things, showed you put the ingredients and all the recipe and everything at the end of the video as well, so you could got that. It was short, which is quite nice in it. That you can, nice quick short video. I know this is probably thinking a little bit beyond what the actual context were, but it was well edited. They had nice little colours and things over the screen. And I thought from a young girl's point of view, she must only be about 13, 14. She was just really confident in what she was doing. And it was all right. Yeah, it was good. I'd certainly watch another one. I think I've watched parts of previous ones before, and I always got a little upset because they throw like loads of money at them and things like that. And I didn't necessarily agree with that. But this one was quite good, quite fun. And if you can encourage your kids to do stuff that's a bit more practical, then, it's positive. So although I was thinking, oh, God, I don't really want to watch this. Once I'd watched it, I thought, yeah, I'm trying to get the positives out of it. And I thought it was good.
So you'd watch another one?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, good man.
Yeah, the thing is with them, and I know this is kind of what we talked about right at the start, is that the problem with YouTube, obviously, is one video just leads straight onto another one. And it just flows and flows and flows. I mean, these are really, really popular, this family as well. Millions of subscribers, millions of views. Probably because they're just nice short videos.
I like the sound of it. I'm just not sure on the names, but now I know they're not real names. I'm back on board. Because mine love craft and things like that. So I think mine will absolutely love it because they like baking anyway in general. So, but I'm guessing they don't just bake all the time. They'll do different things, will they? Well, they do like craft things and stuff. I know you've only watched one episode, so I'm asking for a lot of from you, but
they do all sorts. They do all sorts of stuff. Sometimes the family all go out together. Sometimes it's just it's a YouTube family basically just recording the stuff that they do, and the cooking stuff's kind of just a bit of a sidebar, I suppose, on little bits and pieces, and it obviously gives them an opportunity to sell their merch. So it's a good experience. How would you think that your programs that you've watched stand up against your programs from when you was a kid?
I genuinely think both of them are because I don't know, I like them because they reminded me of what I used to watch when I was a kid. They're just a modern version of it. Like the Big Hero 6, it was just pretty much everything like crime fighting. It was very like I said, X-Men orientated or that sort of superhero. It had one of the kids was like from a privileged background, one was from a poor background. They all came together from different walks of life, which is a bit like X-Men. Batman has got money that he can throw out. Do you know what I mean? You've got someone who come from a different planet and Superman. Do you know those sort of things where everyone has got a bit of something to give because they're all a bit different, but together they're absolutely amazing. And it's the same with Miraculous. She's like a confident teenager struggling with her love life, but through Ladybug and Cat Noir, they're bonding together from what I can figure out. Because outside of, I don't know, them being superheroes, they fancy each other, but they don't tell each other. But then when they meet up as Cat Noir and Ladybug, they fancy each other as well. So there's like a double love thing going on, but they're bloody same person.
Hey, that's life, isn't it?
It is. I would say both mine, give them a whirl, give them a watch. And I think I might have asked the kids to recommend some more things to me. Now, I will say they are both into Sister. So when I did ask this question first, I got Sister. I was like, I can't watch that because, well, I can watch that because it's a very good show. But I used to watch it as a kid myself, so I'm like, I can't review something I've watched. It's ridiculous. But
here's the thing, Jim.
Yeah, sister, never knew how much I missed you. But what I'm hoping for now is, so Sister, it's on, I don't know what they're watching it on. I think it's on maybe Netflix, something like that, they're kicking it out on. But I'm hoping Kenan and Kel comes on there. I'm hoping Sabrina the Teenage Witch comes on there. I'm hoping Clarissa Explains It All comes on there. I'm talking, I want to bring back my childhood. Because if Sister's on there, that's Nickelodeon. Surely the rest of the stuff's going to start coming at some point.
Possibly. I mean, I'm just really pleased that Baywatch is now on Comedy Central.
I've never been a fan of Baywatch, really.
I only watch it because I'm a life guy.
Yeah, I was too young when it first came out, so therefore, when I was old enough, I didn't appreciate it.
Right, we've been on tenterhooks for too long. this double cliffhanger that you've left us lying on. Come on, what happened? Airfix, fill us in.
It's still ongoing. It ain't resolved. So
Triple cliffhanger.
It ain't resolved because their customer service is horrendous, and I mean horrendous. And I'm starting to see a picture here that other people's customer service is terrible. It could be me that's terrible here. But anyway, hear me out. So I've mentioned previously there's bits missing in the boxes. I've emailed to say, look, can I have these bits? Can you send them out to me? Post them out, whatever. So this lady emails back and says, not a problem. Can you just tell me what the part number is for the two toys? What's the part numbers? And what's actually missing from the Spitfire? So I emailed back and said, look, I can't find any part numbers. I don't know what I'm looking for regarding part numbers. Nothing says like product number or part number or anything like that. And regarding what's missing on the bottom, it's an arrow pointing at a plastic piece. I don't know how to describe it. And I said, look, I'm not being funny or trying to be whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a plastic piece that goes on at the end.
You should always start every conversation with that.
Well, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So she comes back to me and she says, oh, the part numbers start with J. The piece that you're talking about, I don't know myself. No, she didn't say I don't know. She said, we tell what step it is on the instructions. Not a problem, can do that. So it's step 31 that's missing, sorted that one. And then I'm looking on the box, I'm looking on the instructions for something that starts with J. And I was like, there's nothing on here that starts with J. So I thought, right, I'll go to the website. So I goes to the website, types in the two products that I bought from them, and there, right in front of me, is J, whatever they are. Now, for me, surely she could have done that after I'd said I can't find them anywhere. Surely she knows what the products are. I'm not joking. It's not as if, they have got quite a lot of products on there, but all I did is typed in the name of it and what type of toy it was, and it came straight up. Now, to me, that's poor customer service. If it was me and someone said, like, I described the name of the toy and what it was, I would then go, well, actually, I'll find out what that is, surely. Or am I being wrong?
I mean, do you want me to ring Shirley and see what the problem is? That's a proper rant you've had there. So it's still ongoing?
Yeah, so she hadn't come back to me as to say, yeah, you can have the pieces and the parts. I'm like, you surely could have found that product code.
So, Shirley, if you're listening, look, do the guy a favour, send him his parts out, stop spoiling the lives of two small children. We just want to get this resolved.
I don't know, it was just the way she came back and was like, it's this, it's that. And I was like, but I can't find this. Help me out. So then we have to go onto their website, which she could have surely done. Oh, hey, I mean, I don't know, we spoke the second time. But,
I mean, it could be a man cave, Shirley. We never know.
Could be. What's your opinion on it?
Right. I think we lose a lot in communication via email and things. We don't know what her situation is at her end. She might be told that's the protocol she has to go through. I get that. It just doesn't always resonate with the customer that that's the right way of doing it. We work in a customer service environment, so we know generally how you would deal with that in that situation. They might be under different pressures. So I'm all for. I think Shirley will sort you out.
I hope she does. Because like I say, if someone had emailed me the information I got in and I could find that information from somewhere else, I wouldn't go back bothering them to try and find it or whatever. I would just get the information I need because I know my products.
You do. Speaking of products, Leon, you've reviewed a product for us this week. What have you reviewed?
I have reviewed products. So every week now we decided we're going to review something or try and recommend something to somebody going forwards. And my review this week is Colour Brain. Now, we've got two versions of Colour Brain. We've got an adult version of Colour Brain and we've got a kids' Disney version of Colour Brain. Now, I would highly recommend this game. It's about £20 from wherever you normally buy board game stuff from, Amazon, things like that, for the kids' Colour Brain. The adults version is 24 quid. Pretty much, in a rundown of how it works, you're given some cards, and on each card it's got a colour. So you get colours like red, green, blue, yellow.
So at this point, Leon decides to name every colour in the world that's ever been born. So while he does that, we'll just take a second and just take a time for yourself. Just take a moment. Well, I think I might have a little whistle. Okay, here he is. He's back.
Black, brown, grey, white. I could keep going.
Brilliant.
About 11 different colours.
Brilliant. Thank you for pointing out what colours are. I was certainly struggling if you hadn't gone through those colours. Thank you for that.
So, kids version. So it's all Disney orientated. So it's all to do with Disney. So I'm going to challenge you to a question. So, do you know the film Finding Nemo? You seen it?
I have seen it, yes.
So I'm looking for one colour. Peach, the starfish in the dentist tank. So what colour is peach in the dentist tank in the starfish? What colour is peach?
Is she peach?
No, ironically, peach isn't the colour.
Yellow.
No. So what you'd all do is you'd all put what colour you think it is, and then you turn it over and it'd reveal the colour. The colour you're looking for was pink. So all you out there screaming at the audio, "It's pink, Andy! Come on, what are you playing at?" And then if you all get it right, you roll that point over. If, say, we was playing it as foursome, so if I got it right, but the other three got it wrong, I'd get 3 points because they got it wrong. If two of us got it right and two got it wrong, we get 2 points for the ones that got it right. And it's a nice little fun game. Halfway through, you can steal cards off your opponent. So if someone's really ahead and they could win on next go, you can drop this card. It's like a steal, and I can steal, say, 8 of their cards, which means the next question. So have you seen the film Dumbo?
Yes.
You're looking for 2 colours. You're looking for the ringmaster's jacket. So what 2 colours is the ringmaster's jacket in Dumbo?
Red and black.
So the answer is red and black. So congratulations, you'd have got a point. However, I'd have stolen some cards randomly from you because I'd used my colour steal, and I could have taken off you red and black. I don't get to see what colours I'm taking. I take them blind, but I could have stolen red and black off you, which then means you can't play them cards. And if you even know it's red and black, you still can't play them because I've got them. Does that make sense? It's quite a cool little game.
Yeah, it sounds it. So obviously all the answers are based on colours.
Yes, but I mean this one, the kids one, is all Disney films. So you've got like another question is Rapunzel's eye colour. What colour's her eye colour?
Red.
No, it's green. What colour's Ursula's tentacles from The Little Mermaid?
Red.
No, the purple and black. You're terrible at this, kid. So that's the premise of the game. I would highly recommend it. It's fun. It's funny. And then the adult games, the same version, the adults, but it's adult questions, things that kids won't really know. I've got to say, I am 100 times better at the adult one than the kids one, because for some bizarre reason, when we play with kids, I have not got a clue what colour Buzz Lightyear's hood is or what colour pants Woody wears.
Red.
You love red. But then the adult one is like, say, the Ford Motor Company car. What 2 colours are there? Badge logo.
Red and red.
You're an idiot.
Top review that, Leon. I like that. So just remind us what it's called again.
Called Colour Brain. We'll chuck it into the Instagram post. Like I say, for kids, for birthdays and Christmases, I'd highly recommend it. A rainy day, get Colour Brain out. And I tell you what, I will say, normally games like this, you'll get like 1 pack of cards, and I think each pack has like 25 cards in it. But with this one, you got 5 packs of cards. So to me, we've played it a couple of times, and we're still on the first pack, if that makes sense. Because it's not until you play like the adult one, we've gone through them all because we've had it quite well. But when we were like get everyone together, we played like as a family. We've gone through them, so I'd need like some update packs for the adult one. But the kids one, you seem to get a lot more bang for your buck in the fact that you've got more packs with it.
What you got on this week, Leon?
Not a great deal. English lesson.
And have you learned anything this week? I've learned something this week. All I'm going to do is just say it and leave it there. I'm not even going to explain it. I'm just going to say it. So what I've learned this week is that I need to stop buying things off Amazon when I've had a drink. I'm just going to leave that there.
Oh, I know your other purchase was that backfired a little bit. So what you bought now? Is it drunken stupid buys, or you bought something and not read it properly this time? And I'm not saying you misread last time. I think you misinterpreted how it worked last time. But this time, is it a drunken random buy, or?
I'm just going to leave it there.
Oh man, the suspense is going to kill me. Is this like a cliffhanger ready for next week, or?
I tell you what, people can send in what they think I've potentially purchased.
you could have bought. Oh, Amazon's massive. Amazon's like one of the biggest companies in the world at the moment. You can buy groceries from Amazon now. Did you know that?
I didn't, but I'll have a few drinks tonight and I'll have a look.
Yeah, Amazon have opened like a store in San Francisco somewhere. And oh man, it looks absolutely class. Do you know like self-scanning where you put it on, you put it through the basket and it recognises what the product is as it goes through. It also adds it up. So you go to the door and pay as you leave. You don't go near your checkout. Your basket is your checkout.
Yeah, that's the future. That's certainly where I'll be going to get my kumquats in future.
And the best is, if you take it back out again, as it passes through the sensor, it recognises you've taken out and it removes it off your shopping list. How good's that? Honestly, I was like, this is... No wonder Jeff Gloom... What's his name? Jeff Bezos, innit? No wonder he's like a multi-billionaire. He's creating some right stuff. Monopolising the world.
He's a good guy. Right, let's do this again next week.
Always.
Have a good week, my friend. And as always, keep smiling.
Stay safe, mate. Stay in, save the NHS, wash your hands, space, enjoy. Have a nice week, mate. Stay safe.
Bonjour.
Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_, or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you are providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.